4 GSL championships in a row. An absolutely monstrous feat. Oh man, and this is not like one of those 2010 GSLs where that's like every month. That is a year plus of just absolute dominance. Maru, such a monster, and what made his game so captivating when he was able to do that was his ability to do a build order like this, something where he goes and builds a proxy on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
It gets held. Sometimes he looks way behind in games like this, but it's his ability to flexibly come back from there that makes him so fascinating to watch. And Elazer so far not sending his overlords in the right direction. He's gone hatch first, hatch gas pool. Keep in mind this is a 2 barracks, not a 3 barracks build, so it's going to have much faster tech behind it. He often goes Hellions and Banshees before command center, but it is still going to have a pretty firm hit of Marines.
Almost there, and now Elazer sees it.
Better late than never.
Doesn't necessarily have to reveal that he saw it, but he doesn't seem to care too much. The Overlord will fly right past that location. I mean, Maru will be a lot more familiar with those now, applying some pressure onto the third base. Might be able to get a cancel here. There's a lot of Marines already in position.
Yeah, he's got to keep that alive. Ling speed is not quite done. It's almost there. Spinecrawler, if that moved over, would have been great. That hatchery taking a ton of damage right now. Those Queens, they are starting to do work on the medevac. Nicely done. Ling's coming in. He's got to pull back with the Lings. I don't think he can just commit to that. Does take out 1 Marine, but 1 Marine for a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, Maru's actually trying to fight the units here. Interesting. I think he could have just gotten the hatchery if he went for it, but he's like, you know what? I can kill Lings, I can kill Queens here. I want to slow you down even more. I might be able to get a hatchery later on anyway, and right now he's getting just that.
Yeah, he's forcing so many Zerglings out. Every Zergling built is not a drone. This is nice. The Spinecrawler does land a hit for the Elazer. I really feel he's going in too eager with these Zerglings.
He wants to save the hatchery.
He's letting them clump up too much though, and Maru is just getting these amazing Hellion shots. He does keep the hatchery alive, which in one way is a win for Elazer, but look at the natural expansion there. I think it was 2 more Hellions that just dove in and killed 6 drones at the same time. So yeah, lots of workers there. Bruised. Maru just, you know, rallying Hellions in there at the same time. Third base is alive, but does it really matter when you're only on 30 workers as Elazer?
Really good micro, by the way, from both players. They really made the most of those units. Elazer even saving the 1 Queen, pulling it back. And now the lair's gonna start.
Zerglings do find the Marines on the map. Of course, map control does now go to the Zerg player temporarily. Third command center there at the front. There is a hole in that wall, but you don't want to go in there. You don't want to go in there, Zerglings. That is a very hot place. You do not want to run in there, of course. Hellions shooting a thin line of splash damage, and that's exactly why Maru had that set up. Just a narrow choke point with the Hellions sitting in the entrance.
Yeah, there's a spore there, but Maru is so good with Banshees. For the longest time, like Maru has been playing and at a very high level for a super long time. He's always been a Banshee player as long as I can remember. Like, he loves using this unit, flying around. I don't know why, but there's some Terrans, they just like really take a liking to those Banshees. I think Gumio is kind of like it as well, but Maru's excellent in those situations. Like, he always makes the most of his Banshees. He's gonna fly back and start killing drones all over the place. Elazer.
Gotta pull those drones away. Can't leave those drones. Oof. Anytime you leave drones exposed on the edge like that, Banshees, especially with Maru's micro, will take advantage of it. You know, Elazer's a player who's a bit scrappy. He's really good at just kind of absorbing drone losses in the long game, where he's just pumping them out so non-stop. If there's one thing you could say, even when Elazer's outmatched mechanically by someone who's a little faster, a little crisper with their micro, he makes up for it just with non-stop spending. He never lets himself get distracted from hitting his injects, powering out those drones. The problem is that up to this point, Maru has just slowed him down multiple times, initially taking out so many drones with the Marine push.
Oh my god, he's lost 22 drones!
Yeah.
That's an absurd number here at this stage. Like, in comparison, Maru has just lost a couple units that he was attacking with. That's it.
And the third is landed for Maru as well. So, I mean, the economic comparison has got to be said, right? No 4th base on the way, up against a Terran who's hitting 5 barracks production. This is not where you want to be as a Zerg player. You want to have that 4th up, that macro hatch by the time, so that you can actually match the Terran's production. And now we see as that production kicks in, the supply, that is going to get just further and further out of control over the next couple of minutes.
116 to 89 right now. Maru's going to press forward. He's going to start removing some of that creep. That's going to be a cancel. That 4th hatchery is going to be an easy cancel for those Marines. And in the meantime, the Banshees, they get back to work.
Oh no, you can't lose that hatch. Oh, is there any transfuse energy? Doesn't look barely like it. Has one transfuse. He's gonna get it. Just ticked over. One transfuse. But is it enough?
No.
Oh no. the fourth and the third base sniped at once. The Marines in the main. Maru has built himself a massive lead.
He's just looking like a different class of player so far in this series here.
I think it all starts with that sloppy response to the 2 racks, to be honest. The drone's not microed onto the SCV, building the bunker a few times. A little bit slow on the drone pulls. Just from there, it's so difficult. And against Maru, his control, you can't afford to make mistakes like that. He'll run away with the game very quickly. If you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Yeah, he's completely snowballing out of control here with the production. Right now, 140 supply to 80 lost, but this was also more almost more discouraging here. He played against a Maru that was in control for minute number 2 and just kept on attacking the entire time, and you're just in your base defending, but you're suffering losses with every wave of attack that comes your way, and then eventually the entire game collapses and you just lose.
Not a good feeling yet. Somehow Elazer felt comfortable going hatchery first here in map 2. Wasn't worried about the early barracks, at least not enough to blind counter it with a spawning pool first build order. And some nice micro here, the Reaper. He's asking for the tax. The local Zerg villagers say no, but one of them does get picked off. Can he get a second? Almost, not quite. The Queen is out. She does want to put the tumor down. He'd love to pick off that creep tumor.
I feel like if Maru can kick into full gear, and just reach that stage of the game where he's on 3, 4, 5 bases and start dropping all over the map. He's one of the best at that. And Elazer already kind of struggles when he played against Innovation, against those Medivac drops, especially those that go, from the, I guess in this case, maybe like the 3rd base and then into the main base. So he's going to have to be way more on point with that. Hitting a little bit of a supply block here, actually. He had 2 overloads queued.
Yeah, it's kind of natural to hit a slight supply block there. Obviously, you're just barely butting into...
His macro is just so insane. Like, he's never floating any minerals, and he's just almost always going to be in the lead here from there, it feels like.
He's got a much bigger economic engine than Elazer right now. He is able to power out more units. This creep spread has bought some time, but the problem on this map is that 4th base up here. This is the one area where the creep is not really protecting. Elazer's going to try to jump on it. He's going to dive on this army.
There is no combat shield here, so if those Banelings, if they connect, very good time fire by Maru. He's trying to split the rest of his Marines. The Medivac are a little bit far. They are going to move back, ignite afterburners, pick up the rest of those Marines.
Talk about making the most of an awkward situation from Maru. That last tank shot just before it went down took out like 6 Banelings. We saw all those Marines stutter step back, pick up at the last second. The Raven got out of there alive. That was probably the best handling in that situation that Maru could have. And now while the creep is slowly starting to be replaced in the top right, comes back through the middle. He wants to stop this creep getting too far on the map behind it. 4th command center, drilling claws and a 2nd factory on the way. 6th, 7th, 8th barracks as well. Maru is just building up a huge macro machine. Elazer, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay on Lair Tech against this. At Lair Tech, playing against Mass Widow Mine, when they've got this good upgrades, this much infrastructure, you're going to need to do a lot of backstabs and really bring the fight to your opponent's economy. You can't fight them front on your side of the map.
It feels so nice for Maru that he doesn't have to use any scans. Like, he's just hanging in there. He has the Raven that detects all of the tumors. He's taking his sweet time removing everything on the left side. And in the meantime, he was pressuring on the top right-hand side. But now, Elazer is starting to add a bunch of mutalisks to his composition. So if he's able to chase those Medivacs, you actually find that he shuts down the Raven.
That's very, very good. That Raven did a lot of work. Creep in the top right looks amazing, which is probably the most important area of this map, since that's where the expansions are. But he does need to respread in the bottom left as well. Maru continuing to be annoying, picking away at this creep. He's trying to create openings, just slow down the infestation while he gets this gigantic macro machine up. 75 SCVs. Now, Elazer's up at 88 drones, but he's just hit that count now. So up to this point, Maru's been mining equal, often more than him. And it is still very evenly matched. Both players able to pound out a massive number of units.
Nice catch here on the one Widow Mine. Goes for the tank as well.
Oh,
not quite able to
oh
get
my
it.
God,
oh, that SCV, that was so on point by Maru to repair that just on time. And now Maru is going to have 2-2 completed here against the slightly later 2-2 from Elazer, but he's already going into infestation pits. Elazer has built up his economy so nicely. He's on 86 drones here. Very ideal on 5 bases. But the creep spread was finally pushed back very nicely by Maru, so he has to start reworking on that here.
Yeah, the creep is good. I mean, there's no real pressure on Elazer right now. He doesn't have Bank though, and of course Maru, as he closes the last bit of supply, his army is going to blossom. 3-3 on the way, armor plating for those vehicles, and of course more command centers behind this. So it's Biomine Thor up against Lingbane Muta. I like that Elazer has opted to stay on a low Muta count. He did not have a fast Spire, so we can't really use those to backstab very effectively. It's just a little bonus force. I mean, for all intensive purposes, in these next battles, it's just Lingbane against Bio. The Mutas are an afterthought. They're not going to make much of an impact on this.
We saw Elazer play pretty well with some burrowed banelings earlier, but it feels like he's kind of shying away from this here in this game, just prioritizing massing a lot more and being aggressive.
Oh, look at that. Sensor tower, a tank wedged in behind a command center, another tank and a planetary.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, Elazer watched those games, no doubt, or at least heard from the other players.
Oh my god, he could get such a massive detonation if this...
Yeah, if he can pull him to the left there, that's...
Where's the debates, pig?
It might be a little too obvious if he does go for it. Might just have to bide his time and wait for it. Lingbane coming in. This is just a small army of Lingbane. Actually, some pretty good hits. Maru messing up his splits there and a bit of friendly fire, I think.
He's setting up the flank. He's going to come in from behind with a lot of banelings. Maru tries to evacuate. The Mutas are going to go for the chase. Can he get to safety? Banelings coming from the other side.
Oh,
Maru
wow.
is a massive force there.
Wow, those banelings are diving for the third base. Those SCVs better get out of there. Oh, well done. Banelings aren't going to find anything. Trying to burrow to
in the corner.
Safety.
To the safe zone.
Yeah, not going to get much done. Well cleaned up here. Bit of a disruption for Maru, but obviously not a great front-on trade for Elazer. He's going to come in on the front. Wants to pick off some units, but not looking like a great trade. Is that Hive finish? It should be now. Yeah, Ultra upgrades are starting.
Wow. He's seeing everything.
He's got a backup layer. It's just there to give moral support to the Hive. It's kind of, you know, you can do it. Yeah. We're going to see Vipers. I don't think we've seen any just yet. Maybe some Infestors in the near future, but for now it's just Ultra, Baneling, Zergling with some Mutalisks. Probably see those swapped out for Corruptors a bit later. No Liberators out for Maru just yet, but he does have a good Marauder count.
Yeah, Elazer is on 9 gases right now, so his gas income is going to be amazing for him to go into everything he wants to add here in terms of Ultras. All of these upgrades.
These bridges are a scary area.
Maru's setting up an attack on the left side as well here. It's getting a lot of the creep.
Yeah, this is kind of
denying
dangerous. Just moving around both areas. He's trying to bait Elazer into like taking really awkward, bad engagements. But at the same time, he does risk getting sections of his army swarmed over.
Elazer not really falling for it for now. He's being very patient. He's getting pulled towards those massive bio forces there. Oh, actually the banelings are connecting big time. It's very... Maru, you can't be kiting in 2 places at once here, so Elazer will get massive cleanups on both sides.
Yeah, the medevacs mostly do survive. Maru gets some units out of there. I think the problem here for Elazer is that Maru's on 5 base, and even though he loses a lot of units, he can rebuild them. And I mean, if we look at the units lost tab, I think we will actually see quite a bit more efficiency in total. About 5,000 resources more efficient for Maru. So, I mean, on a map like Ephemeron, you can't really secure more bases than your opponent. It's not possible. It's such a small map. If you try to take...
Not with that altitude, big.
I mean, maybe with 15 Broodlords, maybe? Man, and this is exactly the danger. Even here, even one of the bases on your side of the map can just go down so suddenly. And Corruptors are being added in, which will add a bit of anti-air. Going to jump on top.
I feel like Elazer's playing really well, but sometimes he's reacting a little bit slowly to some of these attacks. Like, I mean, Maru is so on point. He's like all over the place. It's such a good job cleaning up creep super consistently all over the place. That was cute. You only had some Widow Mines in the area. Scans removed the burrowed Ling that was there.
I think Elazer here wants to keep just rolling Lingbane in. I think with the way Maru's spreading out, it's like maybe you find a weakness. I would actually prefer him to mix a few spellcasters in. The way Maru's moving around this map can be punished very hard by fungal growth. Abducts on medevacs when they pick up can also be very useful. I think we're getting to the point where it's all about efficiency from here. Maru once again split pushing on both sides of the map at once. He's going to split and start dropping multiple bases at the same time. Starts to push in. There is still a ton of Zergling Baneling out for Elazer, but he's not maxed out right now. He's struggling to keep up with this. And the Corruptors not tracking those medevacs.
Yeah, only one of them is actually in the correct position here. Elazer hasn't been getting the base trades here, but as long as he can clean up and keep on maxing out, he's going to be okay for now. 4 more Ultralisks on the way. At some point, he might just start counter-attacking. Elazer actually taking a big supply lead here. he just got a giant cleanup. In particular, killing a bunch of those medivacs. I don't think there's too many of those left over right now for Maru.
Every drone that falls, every unit that goes down, though, you know, Maru's making sure that he's quite efficient about it, and that is the big
the
problem.
corruptors?
Yeah, they can actually pick off a few medivacs this time. There's nothing really in there.
He's trying to catch this army. He's moving out. Elazer might go for the counter-attack here, because he just got big cleanups all over the place.
He's got a big work account. He doesn't really have any banks, so Elazer can't be too gun-ho. I love how many Widow Mines there are here for Maru. Look at that, Corruptors do find an expansion, exposed in the corner. No planetary up.
Wow.
This is a huge mistake for Maru. Leaves this base undefended. Elazer gets a big win.
Finds a bunch of command centers as well. Might be able to take out 2 of these here, thanks to the Corruptors. Caustic Spray was amazing here for that one CC.
Here we go, lots of Ultra Bane. Bane straight in the mineral line. The SCV so clumped up. Oh, Maru, where is your army right now? It was moving out the right-hand side of the map. He wasn't respecting Elazer at all. He thought Elazer was just going to hit the bottom left of the map and then pull back to his own side. But Elazer here senses weakness and he pushes his way in. Maru taking massive hits to his economy.
His Ultras are kind of trapped now, so he's going to get the cleanup.
I think he borrowed a few Zerglings, maybe an Ultra down there as well. Those Ultras do go down.
Maru's not going to fall for it here. Lost 39 SCVs, so his economy's definitely been weakened quite a bit. He's still got a ton of mules to work with, obviously. And on the other side, Elazer is kind of being left alone for the time being. That was very nice here to keep on pressing forward, I think, from Elazer.
Oh, Widow Mines very good against this, but there's still tons of Zerglings there, and SCV's in the open. That's their favorite target. And there is a bit of bio down there as well, so it looks like it will hang on for now. Remember, Elazer has just been behind on the money for so long in this game, taking worse and worse trades. And because of it, even though Maru can't quite win a battle decisively, he's able to just wear Elazer down. And Maru here, once again, just a big spread of bio. Elazer just doesn't have the numbers. He's bleeding out so many units right now.
What is going on? Like, Elazer's not able to remake an army. I guess he hasn't been trading cost effectively.
It's those
for a long
trades. Yeah. It's costing him big time now.
You overextended with the aggression and Maru's gonna make him pay for it. That's it.
Just surrounds him, executes, and just fires away there. Maru with a clean victory, a 2-0 to secure a very high placing in this group. And I mean, that was just textbook TVZ, right? The pressure opening non-stop in game 1. Game 2, he realized with that much creep spread, he couldn't commit everything to one big all-in frontal push, so he just split push both sides of the map over and over again, and it was 100% focus on efficiency. Perfect play from Maru.